I think that certainly in the manufacturing sector there are some good people. I think a lot of rich people in China have got their wealth from property, which is really about the politics. So that's why they are very eager to be part of those such political bodies like MPC and CPPCC.
But what do they really do? Really? I mean, do you think they get anything done, or is it just isn't it just the 8 people on the standing committee that decide what happens in China?
They haven't. They get too smooth with the major politicians.
What do they do for the country? They get this schmooze, but what do they do for China?
I think China has the system is decisions are made by very few people. I think those conventions really not really meaningful in substance.
See, I rest my case. I rest my case.
Being so diplomatic. So basically, they are rubber stamping, and they don't really have any legislative power. Then, Andy, in his short time so far in office, Xi Jinping has shown that his true colors, and that is he is a down to the deepest vein communist. Look at the way he's been taking out allies of previous leaders in China, left and right, week in, week out, month in, month out. What is the end game here?
I think this left and right, this approach may not be, this view may not be correct. I think
I don't mean politically. I was talking.
I think that dealing with the corruption is essential. Otherwise, the system would collapse. I think China had a great prosperity based on cheap labor entering the global market, but we also had this system to divert this wealth creation from people to a few people, and that is led to this corruption at the top. So without taking that out, I think China would be in deep trouble. But in terms of economics, would China turn left or right? It's still too early to say. I think if the government cuts taxes, then I think it's not about really simply saying China is turning left. I think arresting corrupt business people is not turning left, right?
It's a necessity for China.
I think that if we cut taxes to empower middle class, that's actually turning right, not turning left. So I think it's still too early to say.
Well, why don't they just do it? I mean, every other country would be jealous to have China's levels of savings.
It still puzzles me. China has surplus savings and overcapacity, deflation. Then the central bank cuts interest rates, but it doesn't really work because it cuts interest rate. You are trying to encourage people to invest.
Okay, since we're talking to an international audience, I think we also have to make it clear that the savings rates are high in China because the social welfare net is not as good as what you get in developed countries like the UK, like the US, like Australia, Canada, etc.
Actually, 1/3 of the labor cost is contributions to social funds. So this is the safety net, and that is making increasing savings surplus. So it's really not necessary. When after 2008, the US cut payroll tax, social security tax by 1/3 for a few years, and China should really be trying something similar. I think that the social safety net is about increasing savings. Now we have too much savings, so it's really time to kind of slow down.
Yeah.